So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about creating your own progressions. I'm going to give you a bunch of tips on how to get started. So let's just go ahead and just jump right into it. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do here is we're going to use our power chords on our E. You remember those? E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. And you can also, while you're at it, you can try them on the A string also. Those are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. But first focus on the E string. Later on we can mix the two together, but right now it's going to get kind of confusing. So just do it on the E, do a bunch of those, and if you want something different, you can try them on the A string also. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the E string. Again, we're just trying to get you started in this. Okay, so the first thing we do is we just start jamming. Now, I've been playing for a while, so I can kind of come up with some stuff pretty easily. But I'm going to pretend I'm a beginner, and I'm just going to be noodling around. And this is very common. You know, when you first start out, you don't really know what to do. But you got to listen really careful to something that might sound like it's pretty good. So here we go. So let's say... Oh wait, what was that? That kind of sounded like something. Let's figure out what that was. So we did an E, did some chugs. Then we went over a G. Then we went over to A. Back to a G. Oh, that kind of sounded like something. Now let's just repeat that over and over again just to get that memorized. Yep, and you can just keep doing it over and over until you have that memorized. Now, we're not done yet. You got to make sure this fits nicely within your measures. So what you need to do is you need to be able to hum that and then count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on your fingers. So hum it. Now count them. Oh, there you go. That fits perfect. Now, had I come up with something else similar to that, but now let's try to go ahead and hum that. Uh-oh. Well, that cycled it around, and it did 2 measures and then half of the third measure. So that doesn't really fit in too well. So what we need to do is we would have to adjust it. And take out some chords, play around with it, and if all else fails, you might have to just try a brand new progression. But the progression came up with, that fits in perfectly fine. So again, let's play it one more time. So there's our progression, fits in the 2 measures really nice. Now we're going to expand upon that. If we played that 4 times in a row, that would be what we would call A formula. And A just gets attached to this whole progression. There's A, and then we just do another A, Another A. Another A. So that's okay, but we might want to spice that up a little bit. So instead of doing A, we're going to switch every other one up. We're going to go A, B, A, B. So we're going to still play, every time we play that progression, that's going to be an A. But on B, we're going to switch it up. You can do something totally different, or you can switch up just one chord. Let's try switching up one chord and see how that happens, how that works out. So here's our B now. So let's see. That didn't sound too bad. So let's mix it. Here, A, B, now by the way, when I say A and B, these are labels. It has nothing to do with chords. So don't sit there trying to figure out, what is he talking about? Where's the A? I don't see him playing the A. I don't see him playing the B. It's just a label. It has nothing to do with chords. So, so let's put them together. We're going to go A, B, A, B. So here's A. Here's our B. A. And that was B again. So it was A, B, A, B. So it made it sound a little bit more interesting. There's more going on just by switching one chord. Now that's what I totally recommend you to do, is just switch that last chord to something else. That's the easiest way to get started. Now later on, you could switch it up. You can do something totally different in the B. I wouldn't suggest going too far away from the original idea. You want to keep a theme going. So let's mess around with that. So we're going to do our A again, and then we'll mess around with something else for B. That kind of sounds cool. I just kind of, after this chord, I just simply went down. Let's try that again. So it's A, B, A, B. Okay, so there you go. So that's what I want you to do. You should really start out in the very beginning by doing your, taking the B section and only switching up that one chord. That's the easiest way to do it. Just get used to that. Then later on, when you want to experiment a little bit, you can switch it up and do something different in the B. But you want to be careful to make sure you keep that theme going. Don't just do something totally different and then just unconnected. Do something like I just did in the last example, where I kept the basic theme going, but I kind of switched over to something a little bit different. Instead of going up, and doing a couple chords, I just went straight down to one chord and just kind of chugged on that for a little bit. So just a very small changes, subtle changes. So yeah, mess around with that for a bit. And then the next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and add some drums and try that out. Okay, here we go. Let's try it with some drums. Okay, so there you go. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go mess around with some progressions. Just grab your guitar. Don't worry about the drum beats or anything right off the bat. Just go to your guitar, start messing around, and yeah, maybe it might not sound, it might sound like a bunch of nonsense in the beginning because you're not really sure what to do. But yes, keep experimenting until you stumble onto something and it's like, oh, that sounded pretty good. Then immediately stop. Figure out what it is you did, and then move on. Then play that over and over again until you got that memorized, and then from there you can start using those formulas and just messing around and coming up with some really good progressions. And then finally, put some drum beats down and start playing around with that. That's it for this lesson. I'll actually, in the next lesson, I'll give you a little tip on just what I just talked about, and doing different rhythms and then applying those to progressions, and then we'll expand on some other stuff too. So that's it for this lesson. Grab your guitar, start jamming, experiment, and come up with some progressions. We'll see you in the next lesson.